Welcome back, football fans, to Chronochord Sports. Week 1 of the NFL is in the record books, and a lot of people got shocked last week in some of these big games. Here we are for Week 2 and our picks for each and every NFL game. I am C-Dub alongside my co-host JC. JC, last week you ended up beating me in the picks by 2 points, 10-8. Great work, my friend.
Thanks, C-Dub. It was a very close contest. Came down to the wire with those Sunday night and Monday night games.
Everyone out there watching, be sure to subscribe to keep up with all of our matchups. See who we pick. If you're out there in one of those pick'ems leagues, always helps to get a second opinion. We are your source. Let's go ahead and get on into Week 2 here. Thursday night football. Broncos at Chiefs. I'm going to have to go with the Denver Broncos. I, of course, am a completely unapologetic Peyton Manning fan. He's my guy. Broncos got that win over the Ravens last week, and I expect them to win against the Chiefs. JC, who is your pick?
As I predicted in our divisional prediction video, I think the Chiefs are going to take the AFC West this season, so this has to include a divisional victory against their rival Denver Broncos. Though the Chiefs have not defeated the Broncos in quite a few years, it seems, this is the year that Peyton Manning is going to start to take that downturn. As we saw against the Ravens, his arm strength was not quite there. They didn't even score an offensive touchdown. And the Chiefs pretty much rolled over the Texans. So my choice here, C-Dub, is the Kansas City Chiefs. The first 1 o'clock game on Sunday is going to be the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills had a very impressive win over the Colts, and the Patriots pretty much owned the Steelers last Thursday night. This is a very tough decision, C-Dub, but I'm going to have to go with the Bills. They are playing at home at Ralph Wilson Stadium, and I feel like Rex Ryan's familiarity with the New England Patriots, I think that'll give him a slight advantage. Bills it is. C-Dub, what's your pick?
JC, I'm also going to go with the Bills. They made believers out of me last week, putting it to the Colts and Andrew Luck. It really surprised me, and of course, as everybody knows, I'm not much of a New England Patriots fan. So with Buffalo at home, I'm hoping also that they get the victory. The next game at the 1 o'clock slot, the Tennessee Titans, led by Marcus Mariota, at the Cleveland Browns. Browns coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Jets. Not looking good for the dog pound. And of course, the Titans. Wow. Enough said about that Bucks game. They put it on us. Marcus Mariota, talk about coming out and making an impact immediately. I'm going to have to pick the Tennessee Titans here, JC. Who are you going with?
This one's going to be an easy pick. Watching the Browns play at the Jets, they got completely stomped. The Jets defense caused a lot of turnovers, especially when Johnny Manziel came in the game to replace Josh McCown, who got helicoptered and concussed. And it's projected that Johnny Manziel will be starting for the Browns this week, even though it is at home in Cleveland. I'm going Titans. Next up at 1 o'clock, we have the Houston Texans visiting the Carolina Panthers. This is a tough call because I feel like J.J. Watt can cause some havoc in the Carolina backfield and limit Cam Newton's ability to move out of the pocket. For that reason, I'm going to go with the Texans.
JC, I'm going to have to disagree here and go with the Carolina Panthers. While they didn't look all that great, I think that they are going to have what it takes to top the Texans. I'm going with the Panthers in this game at home. The fourth game in the 1 p.m. slot has the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago, of course, lost in Week 1 to the Green Bay Packers, and the Arizona Cardinals had a big 31-19 win over the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to have to go with the Arizona Cardinals here, JC. I wasn't too impressed by the Bears. What do you think?
I'm in agreement with you, C-Dub. Matt Forte had a good game on the ground for the Bears, but I see the Cardinals defense handling him better than the Packers defense did. The San Diego Chargers travel to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. This is a rematch of the playoffs last season, which the Chargers won. This is kind of a tough choice because the Bengals did look very good. Jeremy Hill running the ball like a beast against the Raiders. Going to have to trust in my guy, Old Man Rivers, to lead the Chargers to victory here. C-Dub, what do you think?
Rivers was very impressive in that win over the Lions. And I have to say, the Bengals coming out winning against the Raiders by 20 was very impressive. I'm going to have to go with your boy, Old Man Rivers, and the San Diego Superchargers winning on the road at Cincinnati. The next game at 1 o'clock, we have the Detroit Lions will be traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Detroit Lions, of course, fell to the San Diego Chargers last week. And the Minnesota Vikings, oh boy, not pretty, losing 20-3 against the 49ers on Monday Night Football. JC, I'm thinking that the Detroit Lions easily take this one in Minnesota. What's your choice?
Going to have to agree with you there, C-Dub. The Lions will beat the Vikings. Both teams really need a win, and I think the Lions' high-powered offense can handle the Vikings' defense. The next matchup is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the New Orleans Saints. The Bucs really had a rough go at it against the Tennessee Titans. They looked absolutely horrendous. And the Saints, even though they lost, they typically do pretty well against the Bucs. So I'm unfortunately going to have to pick the Saints, even though it pains me to do so. C-Dub, what's your pick?
Man, what a heartbreaker in week one for us as Buccaneers fans. Morale is super low right now, not even going to lie. I'm going to have to give this one to the New Orleans Saints, as bad as this pains me to do so as a diehard Buccaneers fan. I can't afford to drop too many games in this pick'em. The Atlanta Falcons will be traveling to face the New York Giants. Also at 1 p.m., the Giants coming off of a 1-point loss Sunday night to the Dallas Cowboys. And the Falcons, of course, got a win at home against the Philadelphia Eagles by 2. JC, I'm going to give this one to the New York Giants at home. This one should be a pretty close matchup, I have a feeling. What's your choice?
My choice is going to be the Atlanta Falcons. And even though the Giants barely lost to the Cowboys, they looked pretty good. The defense looked better than I thought they would. But Julio Jones and Matt Ryan is a very strong connection and might be too powerful for the Giants secondary on Sunday. The San Francisco 49ers head east to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. 49ers had a good victory over the Vikings at home, and the Steelers lost at the Patriots on the Thursday night kickoff game. But I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
JC, I'm going with San Francisco winning this one on the road. I have a feeling that San Francisco is going to be able to win this one late in the game, pull away, and get the shocker victory for many people. The St. Louis Rams, fresh off of a huge surprise victory over the Seattle Seahawks, are traveling to face the Washington Redskins. JC, in this, the last of the 1 o'clock matchups, I'm going with the St. Louis Rams. Who are you taking?
C-Dub, I am taking the St. Louis Rams as well. They pulled off a nice overtime win over the Seahawks. The Rams' defensive line are very, very tough players. I could see them in the backfield causing lots of havoc for Cousins. So Rams it is. The first of the 4 o'clock games is the Baltimore Ravens at the Oakland Raiders. The Ravens, of course, looked very flat against the Broncos at Mile High, and the Raiders looked flat as well against the Bengals at home. This is kind of an easy pick for me. I think Flacco has a bounce-back game, and the Ravens take it. C-Dub, what do you think?
JC, I know this seems unlikely after week one, but I'm going to have to go with the Oakland Raiders at home. I think they're going to shock the world here and take down Joe Flacco, the black hole in Oakland. Always tough to contend with. This one, the Raiders are going to take it. Sorry, Ravens fans. Fresh off of their victory against the Washington Redskins on the road, the Miami Dolphins will be going a couple hours north to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who lost pretty decisively against the Panthers, though it was only by 11 points. This one seems to be a pretty easy choice to me, JC. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. JC, who takes this one, Miami or Jacksonville, in the battle of the Florida teams?
I'm going to have to pick the Dolphins for the obvious reasons, as you just stated. Enough said. At 4:25, we have a highlight matchup with the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Another division matchup for the Cowboys in week 2. My pick will be the Philadelphia Eagles. C-Dub, what's your pick?
despite the loss of Des Bryant, JC, which is going to be super, super hard on Romo and the Cowboys until he can return. I think that the Dallas Cowboys can win and get that second win in their division. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think they have what it takes. At 8:30, the Seattle Seahawks, coming off of that loss to the Rams by 3, are going to face the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. The Packers, of course, defeated the Chicago Bears 31-23 in Week 1. I'm going with Green Bay at home here. JC, who's your pick?
C-Dub, this is definitely the best matchup, in my opinion, this week on the docket. We have Seahawks and Packers, the rematch of the NFC Championship from last season. And just like last season, I'm going to have to pick the Seahawks to beat the Packers once again. That was a heartbreaking loss to the Rams in overtime, but I think their defense can contain Aaron Rodgers from being so mobile as he was against the Bears. Even though they're missing Cam Chancellor at safety, I think they have just enough to win on the road at Lambeau Field. And the final matchup for Week 2 of the 2015 NFL season is the New York Jets on the road at the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Jets had a great win over the Browns at home, and the Colts got their ass whooped on the road at the Bills. I have a good feeling about Andrew Luck in this one. He will bounce back from that terrible performance in Buffalo. Colts are my pick. C-Dub, who are you taking?
I think the Colts, Andrew Luck, are going to get a big bounce back win here. I wasn't too impressed with them against the Bills, but I thought Andrew Luck showed a lot of poise and kept on grinding, and I think he's going to grind his way at home to a victory against the Jets on Monday Night Football.
All right, those are our picks for Week 2 of the 2015 NFL season. It's going to be a doozy, C-Dub. Week 1 was action-packed, and I expect just the same in Week 2. Make sure to check back to Chronochord Sports every week for our pick'ems. Make sure to subscribe to Chronochord Media and stay up to date with all of our latest content, including gaming, TV, movies, music, and much, much more. Good luck out there to everyone in any fantasy, pick'ems, FanDuel, DraftKings, all of that stuff. We'll see everyone next week for our Week 3 pick'ems.